Emily is going to tell me what we're looking at in these pictures here. What are we looking at, sweetie?
We're looking at the wedding.
Oh, wow. And in a wedding, who is the bride?
Cousin Alyssa.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Where is she?
right there.
That's her?
Yeah,
Is she beautiful?
yeah.
Do you think so? And where are you?
I was right there.
You were right there. Were you a flower girl?
Yeah.
Oh, that is, oh my goodness.
My brother
gracious.
was a wing bear, and I was the flower girl.
You were the flower girl, and I can see you smiling so beautifully. And is that your wedding dress?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who is this handsome young man next to you?
My brother.
Your brother, your twin brother?
Yeah.
Christopher?
Yeah.
Wow. And I remember how much you like weddings. You know why?
Yeah.
Because when you would play in the sandbox, you would always set up a wedding. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just a romantic character, that's all I can say. You just like to put boys and girls together. Now, who do we have here?
Cousin Alyssa and me.
Cousin Alyssa and you. And, wow. This is just amazing. And this is Cousin Alyssa and you as well?
Yeah.
Wow. These are such beautiful pictures. We have with us 3 distinguished guests who have driven over 100 miles to be here. This is Emily Strilowitch and her mom Lola and her dad Rich. And I'm going to invite them all to tell about the amazing transformation that Emily has gone through. And Emily herself may want to chime in and talk about the transformation she's gone through. Emily, you've been coming here for a really long time, haven't you?
Yeah.
How long have you come here?
I don't know.
Probably maybe 4 years or something like that.
5 years.
How old are you now, honey?
I'm 9.
You are not. Is she 9?
Yes. Yeah.
Holy smokes! You are 9. Wow.
Yes.
Bruce, come and have a seat there. The cameras are actually rolling, so I'm encouraging people to come sit on this side over here.
Okay.
So, Rich and Lola, why don't you tell us about the journey that we've been through with?
Quite a journey.
It's quite a journey. When Emily first came here, she was a little. She was called autistic, but maybe that's not really what was true, as we found out. But it took a while of treatment to do that, and she wasn't toilet trained, right?
Right.
And she really didn't talk, and she didn't communicate. You guys,
Well, you
tell
know,
her what
Yeah.
it was.
When she was about 3.5, she lost all of her language. She had been developing a little bit slowly, but she had lost all of her language and her eye contact, and really wouldn't look at you. She would do a lot of temper tantruming and all of that, and
Wouldn't play with her brother.
yeah. So that's at the point that we got some diagnoses that, diagnoses indicated that, she was on the autistic spectrum. And we certainly went through our own journey process ourselves of grieving.
That was
the
very
new-
frightening to get that
Oh,
diagnosis.
that's
Definitely.
tremendous. You go through such a tremendous roller coaster.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we had a lot of support ourselves in going through it. And so we were looking at anything and everything on, what's our next steps here? Where do we go from here?
Hmm. And these kinds of parents are the real heroes of my story in the healing power of neurofeedback, and then subsequently in the neurofeedback solution, because a child doesn't have a chance unless they have a really wonderfully supportive environment like that. And these guys didn't only drive 100 miles each way to come to the center here. They did lots of other things, including...
Well, we came here. This was one of the most consistent,
Yes.
certainly for quite a few years of what we did. We've got a lot of the different traditional therapies intensively through the school system, which school system was amazing. Speech, physical, occupational therapy, ABA, all of that Starting at 3.5 and full time. She was in full time preschool and kindergarten very early on, which was quite tremendous. And then many other more alternative therapies. There's one called Handle approach.
Judith Bluestone.
Judith Bluestone,
Mhm.
which was a wonderful therapy, and a couple of different energy healers. One locally in the Kingston area, named John Carroll, who was wonderful. And boy, what were trying to go looking back that time. It's been a
Those were those big things, yeah. Those were.
You could tell that the lens was sort of like pivotal in some ways, though, right?
I certainly believe it really was. It was very, when we saw it, it really helped to break things up and break up patterns, if you will, in a gentle kind of way,
Uh-huh.
to free up her mind.
Yeah. Emily passed through many interesting developmental stages. I think we first started with her about 3.5, something
I
like
think
that.
it was around the 300, probably more toward 4
More towards 4?
Four, right.
Okay.
when we found you.
Yeah, so she passed through these interesting phases, including a phase where she ordered everybody around, and she would decide who had to drive the car. Do you remember that, Emily?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, oh, yeah.
I wasn't
had-
allowed
Daddy
to
wasn't
drive.
allowed to
Daddy
drive the
wasn't
car.
allowed to drive.
Only Mommy could drive the car. And then she went through an absolutely charming Lady Godiva phase,
Oh, yes, yes.
in which
Of no clothing whatsoever.
It was hard to get clothes on her, shoes on her, everything, yeah.
She was very sensitive to clothing on her skin.
yeah, and she passed through those stages, and then one after the other, the developmental milestones were reached, which
Right.
was just amazing and wonderful. And she began playing interactively, and I could see this happening in the sandbox.
Yes, with her brother, who would come to the sessions as well.
Yeah.
She has a twin brother.
And we sometimes make mud pies.
That's right.
Yeah, yes, you did. But she played beautifully interactively with her brother, and that was amazing. And I've got a picture of you. Christopher is the horse, and you're on his back like a rider.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
that
that?
true?
Remember when you used to do that?
It's one of the
You'd
games.
play horsey and you would ride on his back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now Emily can not only talk just as intelligently as she's doing right now, but she is a social butterfly. She gets invited.
Yes, she's a brownie now too.
A brownie,
Yes.
and she gets.
I've never been a daisy.
You weren't a daisy, but you were a brownie.
You're a brownie now.
And you went out and sold cookies.
Yes, you did.
Did she?
Yes.
Yes, she was one. There's like 12 or 13 in her troop, and I think she was like the third
Top seller.
top
Really?
seller.
Top
of
seller?
her, of her
If
group.
I saw you out there as a brownie selling cookies, I would buy cookies from you. Definitely.
You did too bad for you. You did not do it last year, this year.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So we have brain maps of Emily that shows that in addition to her behavior changing, her brain began to calm down amazingly. And what was originally called autism turns out not to have been exactly autism, because autism is supposed to be a curse that stays with you for the rest of your life.
Right.
And she doesn't feel that way to anybody these days. She is so present and so sweet.
She is mainstreamed in 2nd grade
Wow.
yeah.
and keeping up with material. She's struggling a little bit in
bit.
some areas, reading comprehension, but for the most part, she's keeping up in 2nd grade material class. Loves being in the classroom. In fact, doesn't like to be taken out of class
Oh,
whatsoever.
yes.
She prefers to be with everyone else.
Uh-huh.
Very social.
And she gets invitations to people's houses and
Birthday parties.
and-
birthday
and-
parties.
You had a birthday party you went to just recently.
I want to go to another birthday party.
Yeah, and she wants to go to
To go
another
to
one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you wanna-
And wants to go
She
to
had
a
a-
friend.
And how
her
was
brother's
she in
friend.
this wedding? This is amazing to
This
see
is just
her.
recently. This is a
This
couple
was-
weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was actually like
See her
3
and
weeks
Christopher
ago.
being such grown-ups here, and here she is standing with her twin brother. We can scan these and look at them closer, but it's just quite amazing.
To see them play together is amazing. They love on weekends. They sleep in the same room, right?
Yeah. They go back to sleeping in the same room together.
Oh, we feel a little.
And she missed her brother. Her brother was just away for 5 days this week.
She missed
Uh-huh.
them all week.
You miss Christopher?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Do you want to sit here?
and here, one more thing I'd like to just say about these absolute heroes who can bring a child out of a state like that in which she is really disabled is that they not only did everything that was humanly possible, they resisted medications. So the child was not medicated, was not taken pharmaceutically out of her selfhood in that way. And they did everything that was available, everything that was possible for her. And now Rich is doing his own neurotherapy called infra-low frequency. We have many different kinds of modalities in our bag of tricks these days, and you're doing that at home with her.
Right. I've been just fascinated with the whole neurofeedback
Mhm.
field and looking at what else is out there that I could explore and get into and learn about. So I'm now doing some of it at home.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And Emily, thank you for being here, my dear.
What you said.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. This is great.